last time you guys finished up your exploration and kind of burning down of the giant stronghold and made it through that whole thing, that whole ordeal that took a while and had some very, very fun elements of like, the hill giant fight, brawl, and an epic little battle in the tunnels underneath. Yeah, it was a pretty cool time. To show a girl a pretty good time down there. Yeah, so it was good stuff. From there, you guys headed back after completing that mission, taking down the stronghold. You did find a note that is written in it's in giant. It's in giant, or the words are in giant, but it's like written in dwarf or something like that. But it's also kind of like magically encoded, so you can't quite read what's on that. You're going to take it back to Fizban and see if he can figure out what it says. That way you can learn more about who is disrupting this ordning and potentially help stop that. On the way back, you were headed back to Fizban, almost on your way to Neverwinter to drop off the people that you helped save, like the noble and elf knight who were down in those cages and everything. The dwarves that you saved all kind of went off to their homeland without you. They kind of gave you a thanks and headed on. And Zapdos has his hill giant with him, and the new dire wolf that is following around Valdan, not really as a pet, but more as kind of a companion. And I think she's a little interested in Valdan. Yeah, kind of a groupie. Yeah,
love interest.
Love interest. Yeah. Yep. She gets a little too cozy when she snuggles. Yeah, so everything's was going good. Got back to, you kind of stopped at a roadside inn on the way home, and during the night, you kind of got a few of you stayed outside. Zapdos and then the hill giant and your dire wolf and Valdan had both all kind of stayed outside. In the middle of the night, you saw, or at least Valdan saw, a people kind of coming up to the door dressed in purple robes, and were trying to sneak into the inn. And you saw them carrying weapons and everything, and so you shouted out at them, see what they were doing, and immediately they turned on you and started attacking, realizing you were who they were looking for. At the same time, two young blue dragons, came down and started to join in the fight with these. The cult has found you and is attempting to attack you, or at least you suspect they may be after you. Yeah, you were in the middle of that fight. You were in the middle of that fight, and that is where we'll pick back up here. So let's bring up the turn order. I think it was on Emmeline's turn, actually. I've got it here.
That sounds right.
Yes.
It's always my turn.
Nope, it is Emmeline's turn.
Oh.
So Emmeline, I think you are still in bed. Yeah, Aradan had jumped over you, getting out of bed. Wait, where are you, Emmeline?
I ran to the window, I think, and I had just jumped out onto a pile or something.
Yeah, you turned into a raven. That's correct.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we lost connection with you last time. That's why we decided to call it.
I did. Stupid work internet.
It's all right. So you're a raven. You've just turned into a raven. What was your plans with that?
I don't remember. Let's see. Are you streaming and I just can't see it?
Oh, did I not stream? Hold on. 1 second. I probably didn't stream yet.
Oh, yeah, okay. I just see. There we go.
There we go.
Might help me figure out what I was doing.
And then we have a guy blinded and a dragon stunned as well.
Which guy was blinded? Did you write your note on that? I kind of forgot which one it was.
I think it was the dragonborn-looking fellow that was fighting.
Yes. So he's blinded.
Yeah.
Yes. And then
the one that's stunned is that one.
Yes, correct. Because Elkas was shooting magic at it. Yep. All right. Okay. Excellent.
Despite all the drugs and alcohol, good job, guys.
Right?
And then, okay, so Torrel and Siren are still in their rooms. I'm gonna I'm gonna assume that since we were busy, I had no idea what Torrel was doing, so I'm just gonna go peck at her window and like try and get her attention.
Okay, so you fly over and peck at her window there, kind of land on the windowsill and start pecking on it.
Show her my bird butt, and then peck.
You peck just enough so that she starts to lift her head, and you turn around and plaster your butt on the window.
And then I'm like, oh, but like wing, like come this way, come here.
All right. And what else you doing?
See. Who is?
So you've moved about 15 feet, or 20 feet so far, moving from your bed to the window. Maybe 25. I think you get more fly speed.
Yeah, it's like 50, I think.
Yeah, but minusing 10 from the movement speed to the window.
That's right. Perfect.
Climbing out.
In that case, I'm going to fly over to that log stump, and I want the axe.
Okay. So you land on top of the axe. All right. So you've done an action, you've done movement, kind of a little bit free action there. Looks like that's going to be all for you on this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this dragon that you've been attacking, it's stunned, and so it's stunned, I think, is on the end of the turn. Does that?
It ends on my turn.
Oh, it ends on your turn. Okay, so he can't even do a DC check against it. Right. Good.
Nope, because he failed the check in the first place.
Got it. So it's one of those nice stuns. All right. Torrel is up, though. So, Torrel, you just got woken up by Emmeline and saw her butt plastered against the window before she took off. You've heard a lot of ruckus, too, that's kind of like started to wake you up, but that was like the last thing that kind of really got you awake.
Oops. The last thing that actually got me out of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I run outside.
Okay.
Or no. Can I see from the window?
You can kind of see like the tail of a dragon, but you can't like make out.
No, I want to run outside then.
Okay. All right, so you run out the main door here into the hallway. So I need to. You run out the main door into the hallway, kind of seeing both Aradan and Chelan already heading down the hallway to head out as well. So.
And is that both my action and a dash?
Nope, that was just your regular movement speed. You could use your action to dash if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Here. So dashing, you dash past Chelan and catch up with Aradan. Okay. At the end of the hall. All right. So the dire wolf is going to attack this stunned dragon here. He's kind of joining in with the hill giant, and he's going to use his bite attack, which is going to give him an advantage because it's stunned. And 21 to hit.
She'd have advantage with pack tactics anyway with the giant next to her.
Yeah. But I can only use one of those, so yep. I'm going to use the stunned there. So it's going to take 10 biting damage as her jaws clamp down on its leg. Alright, back to the top. Elkas.
Cool. Let's do another Rowlotham Psychic Lance, but I would like to use some sorcery points to twin spell it and hit both of the dragons.
Okay. To do that, you're going to have to move from your current position. You don't have a clear line of sight of the second dragon.
Sure, let's move towards that tree.
Right, yep, so getting close to the tree and hiding behind it gets you a better shot of both of them.
Cool, so they both need to make an intelligence saving throw of 17.
Okay. Alright, so the one that was not stunned, doesn't make it. So, and I gotta check something here. Does the stun affects their ability checks, if I'm right? What I don't like about this DM setup is I don't have the stuns. I have to kind of go look at your guys' character sheets and read the stunned and like the conditions sometimes. Right,
It automatically fails strength and dex saving throws.
Okay, but
and
not
it's
intelligence.
incapacitated.
Yep. So, not intelligence saving throws though. Okay. So, the second one, the one that's stunned. Oh, he got a nat 1, so he's definitely stunned.
Nice. So let's roll some damage.
Okay. All right.
Well, pretty crappy rolls. It's 22 psychic damage.
22 psychic damage. Still something. A little bit at a time here. They both got him. You did the main point was to get them both stunned. So.
Absolutely, it was, and that will be my turn right there.
Okay. So the gladiator who's blinded over here. Let's move Zapdos out for now. So Zapdos isn't present at the moment. He is going to. Oh, you are? Okay, excellent. I'll bring you back.
I'm
then.
on the phone. I'll be at my computer in like 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. It's not your turn. I was just gonna not have him attack you if you weren't here, but if you're here, it's all good. It's all open game then. Let me see. Blinded. Now, what blinded him again?
The sunbeam or something like that.
My sunbeam. Yeah,
Okay.
I got 9 rounds left of it. I'm concentrating on it.
So he is blinded throughout the. So sunbeam is still active, shooting this direction, right?
Yeah, I started at the last round looking at my notes, and I'm shedding 60 feet of bright light, 30 feet bright, 30 foot dim around me, and it is blinded. Takes much damage. It's blinded until my next turn, so when it's my turn, he'll be unblinded.
Okay, so he's just going to take some blinded strikes at. He's going to take a couple strike at Zapdos, but he can't see, so he's going to do it blinded here. So at a disadvantage. Let's see what he is. So he gets to make 3 attacks. All of them going to be at disadvantage with his spear. He's just going to stab wildly at Zapdos. Okay, so the first one, it misses. First strike, easily missable. Second strike, that's missed as well, and you got a nat 1, so let's see how that resolves out. Okay, just really bad. You're just like, Zapdos, you're like, where are you even stabbing, bro? Alright, and then the last strike, he got a 19 on both of those rolls. So, that's going to hit. The last one's going to hit Zapdos unless he's got some sort of protection against it.
I'm going to use my reaction as a finesse duelist and add my proficiency to my AC, bringing it up to 21.
Nice. Okay, great. Yep. Just kind of slap that shit away. Alright. And next up is Siren, which we didn't use last round because I didn't have her in initially. I had to redo the encounter board because I forgot to add her last time. So she finally gets out of bed and sees what's going on here. She kind of looks out the window and sees what's happening, and then she's like, oh shit, jumps out of the bed, runs out as well, starts joining you guys in the hallway. Alright, Valdan, you're up.
Alright, since I'm concentrating on it, and we still have that orb guy alive too, right? The guy that called the dragons?
Yep, over here, yep.
Okay, and then what's that little bird icon between the...
Oh, that's Perry. I don't know why he's out here. I don't have him.
Okay, I just want to make sure Friendly wasn't...
Yeah, that's
in the way or
Elkas's little spirit guy.
So, movement-wise, would I be able to move around the dragon to the right? I'm trying to see if I would have enough movement to do this. Since I can do a 60-foot line of sunbeam, I was going to try to move around the dragon to the right to shoot the line to hit both dragons.
So if I remember right, the dragon let loose, and that's why this wall is missing. He let loose an electric hit right on you, and he's close enough that if you move without disengaging, he's going to take a swipe at you. They have long reach.
Well, I would stay within his range. I'm just circling around him to the right.
The right? Okay.
Yeah, like I was gonna try to do the sunbeam line to hit both dragons if I had enough movement to circle around him that way.
Okay, so keeping him kind of like engaged with you, you're gonna circle around. All right.
But I don't know if that'd give the blinded gentleman an opportunity attack or not.
I'm not gonna give it to him. He's got a 5-foot reach that's still kind of, if you're staying along here with the dragon, it's just out of his reach anyways. So.
Okay, and then actually his blinded would end because it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I'll do, since I'm concentrating on the sunbeam, I will do the line through the two dragons, so they will both have to do con 15 saves.
Con 15 saves. Got it. Right. Some one dragon. I'm gonna say they should have a higher con than that. So one of them didn't make it. The other one got a 16. So the one that is directly in front of you has been following your movements and kind of like is ready for whatever spell you released, and the other one did not.
So the one that failed is blinded till my next turn, takes 30 radiant damage. The one that was ready for it is not blinded and takes 15 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then for my bonus action, I'm just looking here.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Yeah, he was stunned and incapacitated. Actions. Stun. Strength and save. Okay, so it doesn't affect that. Never mind.
So he's stunned and blinded now. Nice.
No. All right, so this one over here, yeah, the far one is stunned and blinded. Oh.
And yeah, I can't do another leveled spell, so that would be me.
Okay.
Does blinded affect blind sight? I'm guessing not.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Dragons have blind sight?
I think most dragons have blind
They
sight.
do. They do.
That sounds
Yep.
right.
They can perceive their
hoping these ones
surroundings
didn't.
without relying on sight. Yep. All right. So, Zapdos, you're up. What would you like to do? You're right next to the gladiator, who is was blinded. He was taking some stabbing, little jabs at you, but his blindness has ended. You can kind of see him blinking and getting his eyesight back.
Well, I'm probably the last thing he wants to see. So, where you gonna take a swing?
All right. We need to roll for you. Oh, you got it. All right, with your luck blade longsword. Okay, that's gonna hit. Give him a nice slash. 10 more damage to him. Okay.
So that's 16 slashing damage and 3 fire.
Okay. 19 total. Okay.
How's he looking?
He is looking rough. Yeah, he's still alive, but he's seen much better days. He's got a lot of gashes in him, cuts.
We'll swing again.
All right.
Will 16 hit?
16 is gonna hit. Yes, you just barely catch hold of him. He tries to dodge, but can't make it out of the way in time. Okay, 5.
Those weren't some good rolls. So that's 7 slashing and 4 fire.
All right, 7 slashing, 4 fire. Yep, he is hanging on by a thread.
As a bonus action, I'm coming in with an unarmed strike. I'm gonna backhand him.
All right.
No, I'm gonna peck him. I'm gonna peck him right in the face.
2 slashes and a peck. Right. 7, 4, and
No fire damage because it's not the weapon, but the
Right.
D8 from not being full health.
all right. So that takes him out. With that last peck, you just like see his eyes kind of roll back in his head, and he falls to the ground, and he stops moving. He lets out his final breath there. All right.
And then for my movement, I think I'm gonna try to step into like the room a little bit just to get out of the orb guy's line of sight.
Okay.
Maybe use Grumps as like cover from that direction too, like right in there. Yeah.
Yep. So you kind of step back behind these outhouses and kind of into where the rubble of this wall used to be, kind of just hiding out there.
Yep. And and I'll just signal to Grump like, keep doing what you're doing, bro. You got this.
Right.
In my half like giant common language that I'm learning with him.
So the elf knight that has been helping you out, or was you rescued, comes trying to run to the rescue here, or try to help out. Runs to the door. The door is already open, so he can see this dragon wing. So he's going to take a shot with his heavy crossbow as he's making this movement here. And he's going to try to finish this dragon wing off. And oh no, that wasn't the hit. That was the damn. Ooh, a nat 20. Nice. Right, so got a 9 on that, which finishes this dragon wing off. So the crossbow bolt to the chest, causing him to fall over dead. Right. Dragon Soul is up next, this leader of this little bandit, or little group here, of this attacking group. Somebody say something.
No.
Okay. I thought there was somebody trying to interject something. I'm like, what did I do? Alright. He is going to... I think he's already one of those. So he's going to use... He takes that orb in his hand, and he aims it directly at Valdan over here, and he kind of blows on it, and as it does, a spark of lightning shoots out from it and hits towards Valdan. Let's see, hits Valdan. Nope. Gonna miss. Not do well. Alright. That's all for him. He's kind of backing up a little bit away from Chelan, kind of like moving back and taking cover over here on the side. And alright, so Delan though is going to also come up and take cover over here and shoot an arrow directly at him. 2 of them actually. First one's gonna miss, unfortunately. Second one's gonna miss, unfortunately.
Ugh.
So Dragon Wing's dead. Aradan, you're up. So you're still rushing through the hallway as things are continuing to go down outside, but you're at the door now, finally, into the hall.
Right on. I would open said door and try to get out there.
Okay, so 20, about 30 gets you out here.
All right. I have a full speed of 40 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and dash. I'm going to get right up in that orb guy's face.
So you have a 40 foot regular speed.
Yep.
Okay, so you actually have an extra 10 before we do the dash.
Oh.
Do the dash to go all the way up there.
Oh yeah. And then I'm going to action search.
Right. Might as well. You just had a long rest.
Yeah.
Busy.
Or we're in the middle of a long rest.
I get that back on short rests. Oh yeah, but with that said, I'm going to hack at this fella. All right, 28 to hit.
20 is gonna hit.
All right, and then I'm going to. Oh yeah, I'm definitely throwing a smite on that after that. Sorry, display.
So you could hit him with your plant killer axe and throw a smite in there. Call forth the heavenly wrath
Oh yes. So
of Bahamut.
just a level 1 smite for right now here, but I'm intending on just knocking him out. So
Okay.
that is 19 damage on the first strike,
Okay. Yep.
and then right on, 30, 20 to hit again. That's better for 10, but I'm also going to throw down another level 1 Divine Smite on it.
Okay.
Right on. For another 10, so 20 on that one.
All right. Yeah. 2 powerful strikes calling in that divine energy. Yep. You can definitely see he took quite a hit on that, but he still looks like he's quite capable of fighting.
Wonderful. Well, bonus action, I'm going to do a strength check just to push him against the wall.
Okay. Do it.
Feeling feisty.
I love that shield bash. I'm going to use it every chance I get. 16.
Unfortunately, he was ready for you, and you didn't quite get that. He kind of clashes back with you and stops that push.
Ah.
Right.
All right, that's the end of my turn. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. All right, so Grumph, your hill giant, is going to. He's me no like dragons, and he's gonna smack his great club into his head a couple of times, or attempt to. Fortunately, the first swing goes. Huh?
Didn't he pick up a sword from the armory when we left the hill fort?
He got a club.
Yeah, he got a better club, just a nicer, stronger club. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I missed. All right, a bigger stick.
Yep, a bigger stick. One that wasn't just a big tree. This one was more crafted to look like a club. So, yeah, he's just gonna bash that club into him. He got the second one's gonna hit, and so he's gonna do 18 bludgeoning damage to this dragon. This dragon is looking rough. It's kind of like stumbling a little bit here and there as it tries to keep. It was a little bit stunned too, but it's also kind of like keeping itself up as much as it can.
Stunned and blind.
Yep, stunned and blind. But he's got blind sight, so the blind doesn't really affect him.
Yeah, I didn't know that until you said it.
All right, Chelan. All right, so you're in the hallway here.
Yeah, I will run as far as I can, then dash the rest of the way out.
Okay, so you've got 30 movement speed or more?
Yeah, 30.
Okay, say it's about right there. And then dash out. As you dash out, where do you want to go with that?
Let's go
about 20 more feet.
Yeah, I'll get within 30 feet of the dragon. Yeah, right there. That's good. Okay. I'll use my bonus action to toss my dancing longsword towards the cultist with the little orb.
Okay.
And go ahead and make an attack on him. And that's a dirty 20
It's gonna hit.
For 5 points of damage. And that is my turn.
Nice. All right. So, it is So he passed your sunbeam, so he's not stunned, right? This dragon?
Correct. It's only blind on a success, so he only took half last time because he succeeded. Or I'm sorry, it's only blind on a fail.
No, I'm sorry. No, he did not. Elkas, you stunned both of them. That's right.
Correct.
So they're both stunned. So he can't make attacks or anything. So the dragons are pretty much useless this round. So.
My goal is to not let them play.
I love it.
Oh, what a bully.
You're doing it. Emmeline, you're up.
You're doing it. Okay.
Alright, so you've landed on the axe and that stump as you're in your raven form. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I want that axe. And then...
Probably not going to pull it out with your raven form.
Oh, sorry. As a person.
Okay.
I'm gonna change back to my normal. And then I'm gonna pull that axe out, and then that dragon that's like straight in front of me there.
What's your normal strength score? Because it's actually wedged in there.
Is it?
You might have to do a strength check.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see.
I don't.
He's been working out.
It's not great. It's an
yeah,
8.
you're gonna have to do a strength check to see if you can pull it loose.
Okay. Okay. Come on. 12.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's not somebody who slammed it in there. It's not gonna pull free. It's still stuck.
Okay. Well, never mind that then. What else do I have first in my hand? The dagger. Okay, well, my plan was I was gonna run towards that one dragon and then just try and chop his wing off. Since I couldn't get it out, I'm just going really angry, get my little rat skull dagger, just stab its friggin' wing, like try and make it so it can't fly away.
Okay. Fool. Haven't quite made it there with your movement speed.
Alright, well I'm gonna throw it at its face then.
Alright, let's see if you can throw it. So, let's see, do you have any normal throwing stuff that you... Oh, the range is 20 feet, so yeah, you can throw. It's a ranged weapon. So roll that 6.
It's for 2 hits.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say for a sorcerer, you've got some dexterity on your throwing skills for your rat dagger. Got a high hit on that for being a sorcerer.
Did I?
I don't know how you got such a high thing on it, but it's pretty high. Oh, it's because it's adding a proficiency in that. That's interesting. I guess you're proficient in simple weapons, so it makes sense.
Yeah, if they're simple. Let's see. Wait.
I have a simple weapon.
Did you...
my proficiency? Let's see.
Oh, well, no,
Would it be dex?
Well, no, if you're gonna throw the weapon, just roll the hit/DC die next to it.
Where the hell is... Oh, there it is. I was like, I can't find it anywhere. Okay, there we go. 19.
Okay, so you launch that dagger at its face, and that connects. Okay.
3.
3 damage. Right, it kind of sticks into the side of his face a little bit. Or actually, kind of nicks him. Kind of clatters the ground.
Yeah. Remember throw.
But that dragon is already hurt, so it seems to roar in pain from that little dagger. It's not able to do anything to respond, though, and it's Torrel's turn.
I want to continue running outside.
So you have 35 speed, right? Speed.
Correct.
Okay, so you make it outside the door as well.
Okay.
You are about 35 to 40 feet away from the closest dragon. But you are 30 feet close enough to the dragon soul.
Yep, that's what I'm going to go after. So 26.
26. Okay, that first one hits. First crossbow
And
bolt.
22.
That hits as well, and he is engaged with Aradan, so he's going to take some sneak damage.
Sneaky
Thank you.
damage.
So 22 plus sneak. I love that sound. 18, so 40 overall.
Yep. He's pretty hurt now. Almost like he kind of takes one knee from those two bolts. They kind of take the wind out of him.
Wait.
Yeah, he's definitely
Took an
hurt.
arrow to the knee.
Right. All right. So the dire wolf continues his assault on the dragon. He's got stun, so he's going to get advantage on that, and plus the pack tactics. But still misses. It's tough hide on that dragon. Elkas, you're up.
Okay. Do I try to get him to not play for one last turn and use what's left of my sorcery points? I think that's what I try to do.
Okay.
So I'll use the remainder of my sorcery points to twin the spell, and they both have to make those 17 intelligence saving throws.
Right. Ooh, one got a nat 20. The other got a 19, so that did not work on either of them.
Well, then they take 12 psychic damage.
Actually, I rounded up on the enemies, so that's 13. Okay.
Okay, then 13.
I do you guys a favor and round up on enemies and round down on you. So.
Okay.
We get the handicap. Woo.
All right. I mean, I could go the other way if you want. I could round up on you and round down on them. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So you did the psychic damage to him, but it didn't quite, stun them again.
Unfortunate.
Yep. Let's see. The gladiator's dead, so Siren is up. Siren continues to run out the door and see what's going on. He gets about to here, has to dash the rest of the way. Comes out, kind of stops, just mid-stop, like, holy shit, what is going on out here? And that's the end of her turn. She had to dash to get all the way out there. Valdan, your turn.
All right, my 8 rounds left of Sunbeam, so I'm going to milk that until I lose my concentration.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot the line at the two dragons again.
Okay.
Even though the blind don't have an effect, at least it's just a save, so they both do con 15s.
Uh-huh. Alright.
I'll roll the damage.
Alright, so the one in front of you did not save, but the one behind you got a nat 20, so it saved. So the one over by the giant.
So the one that failed in front of me takes 26 radiant, and the one that succeeded only takes 13 radiant damage.
Still enough to take out that second one, though. That radiant damage sears into it, and it collapses. It lets out one final roar and collapses.
And then I don't think this will work. Let me check. Would this be a lightly obscured area?
No, you're on the. This is like this roadside inn is right next to the road, and it's kind of an open plains. There's a little bit of trees, but not a whole lot.
Oh, never mind. I'm shedding 60 foot of light, so I can't hide anyway.
Yeah. That's kind of the other thing too. I was just about to say.
Yeah, my bad. So, yeah, I'm just gonna stand my ground, staring the dragon in the face. That is me.
Kind of reminds me when was it Zapdos that was up on a building and he's like got his sun sword blaring light and he's like, I'm gonna try to hide, and it's like, you can't really do that.
Yeah, I remember that.
You can try.
That sounds like exactly something I would do.
All right. Let's see. All right. So Valdan, you did that, and Zapdos, you're up. So one dragon has gone down because you see that beam is still cutting into them, but the other one is still up. Still looks pretty healthy, and That's all you can see from where you're at currently. You kind of hear them fighting the dragon soul, but you can't really see what's happening there.
I'd like to try to fly and like land on the dragon's back and like just start stabbing into him in a position hopefully he can't like reach me.
Okay, so
Like if I'm on top of him, like that's what I'd like to do.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to see if he perceives you trying to land on his back. And he does not. He is too worried about the Valdan. So you land on his back. So you'll have to try to hang on. He's going to try to buck you off. So do a strength check for me.
Dex because I'm a monk?
Yep.
Question mark?
Yep. Hmm? When I say strength check, since you have the monk, just go ahead and roll a dex for me. Then that's...
Heard that.
Unfortunately, he's just bucking way too much, and so you're not unable to get a grip on him. But you are kind of hovering over him.
All right then. I'll just
You can still stab him from where you're at.
I'll try to take a swing at like. I'll try to take a swing at like one of his wings then, so that he try to damage him so he can't escape.
Okay, do it. Okay, so
that's not gonna hit.
Yeah, that one's gonna miss.
I'd like to burn my luck charge in my luck blade. I'll just be lucky and re-roll that one.
Okay.
Once per long rest.
Yep.
18.
Okay, unfortunately, because you're trying to hit a certain area, I've added a little bit to AC, so that's gonna miss.
All right. I'll still try again.
Okay.
And that's gonna miss.
Unfortunately, it looks like you're trying to get his wing, but he's just moving, trying to move out of your way and not get hit by your attacks. He's aware that you're specifically trying to hit that certain area, that one particular area, so hard to hit.
Bonus action. I'm gonna come in with my with a kick, a flying kick.
Okay. After 2 swings, you kind of come down with a flying kick into him. But yeah, you miss on that one too, unfortunately.
Yeah, everybody point and laugh at Zapdos. He can't hit a dragon.
Well, I have a question. If he's on his back and Valdan's in front of him, would that be flanking?
So flanking rules, like, I don't think
I might be reaching here, but
a whole lot of information on flanking rules in 5th edition. The only thing that I would give on flanking rules is an advantage, because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really talk about it too much in 5th edition. I think it leaves that up to the that.
You just don't say specifics. Alex will give you an advantage.
Yeah, you know.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I always operate, you can't get a yes unless you ask, so.
That's true.
Yeah, I think you have to be on opposite sides. I think that's what the optional rule in the DMG says.
Right.
I think.
Right. Optional rule meant to represent.
Like he was trying to hit his wing.
Right,
and
so all
that's
that
why
flanking would have done anyways is gives a +2 bonus to your attack roll. So that's what it did in 3.5 anyways. So it would have only helped the one strike that got an 18.
So that would have made it 20.
That would have made it hit, yeah. So he would have got 1 strike from that. The 1 sword strike on his wing. Yep.
All right, I'll take it. Thanks,
All right.
Valdan.
Yeah.
Well, more like thanks, Alex. I just didn't know if we could get away with it.
Thanks, everybody.
Sure. I mean, I needed to learn more about the flanking rule, anyways, because I've been asked several times.
Christmas.
So.
That's 21 damage.
21 damage. Okay.
Two of it being fire.
Yeah, you definitely crippled his wing, but not taken it off yet. He's probably not going to be flying anywhere on that wing. So it was 22 or 28?
22.
22.
And I said two of 2 of it is fire.
Okay.
Or no, excuse me, 21. I'm an idiot. I can't add.
That's all right.
But yeah, that'll
Okay.
do it for Zapdos.
All right. So, my knight, he's going to run out here, and he is going to take a shot with his heavy crossbow at the dragon. And that's going to miss. All right. So the dragon soul is just like he's hurt. He's down on one knee. He's going to attempt to straighten back up, but that is going to give an opportunity attack to Aradan and the dancing sword.
Wonderful. And I'm going to throw a maneuver on this. I'm going to try to trip him.
Okay, let's do it.
So it is a hit.
Uh-huh.
I will roll damage for the 12. And then it's a D8 for damage on the trip.
Okay.
And then it is... I'll give you the exact saving throw number. Oh, fucking nasty one there. So 1 more damage added on to that.
It's okay though. You actually, when you catch him, your whole plan was to kind of trip him and hit him with at the same time, but you realize that that last strike was enough to kind of take him out, and you kind of just slam him into the ground with your axe buried in his chest.
Oh, I was trying to keep him alive.
But it was cool.
Yeah. Alrighty. Good show, good show.
I was trying to give you a hint that he was on his last leg when he fell down on one knee. That I guess it didn't
Thought
connect.
he was proposing.
Right.
I was hoping that like by tripping I was going for a non-vital area.
Right. I know. Okay, so let's see. So all right, so it is Delan's turn. He's going to take his oath bow and make 2 shots with his oath bow. First one's going to hit at the dragon. Second one's going to hit. So he's going to roll 2 d8s and 10. 32 damage to the dragon. That dragon is looking pretty bad too. Got a crippled wing, can't fly anywhere, and it's been taking a ton of damage. Alright, Aradan, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna use my movement to get up to the dragon.
Okay.
And Bahamut sends his regards.
Yeah, when you say the word Bahamut sends his regards, the dragon looks at you as though he realizes you're a paladin of Bahamut. You see some terror in its eyes.
But I missed. Let's try again. Ah, this is even worse. Oh, that's it.
Worse or better?
You piss off your god or something?
No, I just can't hit.
Grump
That's all on me.
turns from the down dragon and comes over. He's laughing. Ha ha ha! Dragon went down, and he's gonna like smack this next dragon with his big old club. All right, 20 to hit. The first one's gonna hit. Second one is gonna miss, but the first one is gonna do 18 damage. And that is nearly, this dragon is hanging on. I mean, that's just a big club to its head. You can see it like trying to avoid going unconscious, struggling to stay awake. Chelan, you're up. So you've got a few feet left to go to get to him. If you wanted to finish off this dragon or potentially maybe knock it out, it's already looks like it's about ready to pass out, struggling to stay awake.
I have no problem killing it, so I
All
will
right.
use a bonus action to flame up the flame tongue and run over and try the new sword out.
All right.
First attack, 27.
That's going to hit. You take that flame sword and you drive it right into its neck, just below its skull, up into its brain pan, and it slowly slumps to the ground and is out.
Chelan, Dragon Slayer. Just to get the old movie. I mean, it's the death blow that gets the credit, right?
Did all the work. He couldn't have done it without you. And you get your sword.
Yeah. I'll sheath that.
Just as you're kind of congratulating yourself, you catch your sword and then put it back in the sheath and like, yeah, I'm a badass. So everybody is kind of coming out to check what's going on out here and see if there's any more potential threats around here. So you have a number of bodies around you. You have a bunch of cult members, including the Dragon Soul, who had that orb. That orb is now just looks like a regular piece of glass over there. It's like lost whatever energy was in it.
Could Valdan try to do, I don't know what kind of check, maybe animal handling or survival? He wants to harvest some of the dragon scales and then also some dragon meat for us to eat.
Yeah, you can do that. Survival would be a skill would be good to get the most scales out of it without damaging them too much, taking them out. Kind of know skin an animal, that kind of thing.
We're skinning dragons?
Well, the scales, getting the scales off of them.
Oh no, I know. I was just excited.
Yeah, because Valdan has that serpent scale armor. So what I'm thinking is, as we go through and kill different dragons in Tiamat, he's gonna add or get somebody that can over time add some of the colorful dragon scales into the shiny serpent scale armor. That's kind of what his long game is.
I just wanted cool dragon scale plates.
Yeah,
Like
that's potential. Anything else you guys want to do besides get some scales?
Teach.
You got a good roll, by the way, on that, so you're gonna get some definite scales off of there. I just need to figure out how many scales you get.
Elkas comes around the corner just yawning, and he's gonna reach into his cloak and grab the hole that's all folded up and unfold it and put it on the ground, and then just gonna sit kind of against the wall and try not to fall asleep.
Here, murder hobos, put your thing in my hole.
Well, it certainly beats trying to carry them, all right.
All right, looks like we're back. Okay, I didn't find anything in Fizban's guide about that, so I think this is probably something that is a supplementary source or something.
Yeah, I was looking, and it says, or at least I'm just looking through like what you have on D&D Beyond in inventory, and there's dragon scale mail. It depends on the color dragon you get it from. And it says dragon scales made of the scales of one kind of dragon. Sometimes dragons collect their cast-off scales, gift them to humans. Other times, hunters carefully skin and preserve the hide of a dead dragon.
Yeah.
In either case, dragon scales highly valued. So it's like I could get somebody to turn it into blue dragon scale mail.
Right.
Nice.
I'm just going to default to it being enough for one dragon scale mail per each hide.
That's pretty neat.
But then, of course, you got to get it. You got to have someone turn it into that. So.
Yeah, an armorist or something.
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's kind of like an incomplete version of that work, and it's like $1 to purchase the entire thing for the dragon harvesting.
Okay.
Huh.
I might have to get in. I might have to find that. This might even be made by a third party because they have some that look like official stuff, but they make. Oh, this wasn't a third party.
It's the DM's Dungeon Masters Guild. I don't know. It's probably, but it looks like they have harvesting for a lot of things.
Huh?
Yeah, it's only $1 for the entire thing, which is nice.
Nice. I'll have to look at it. All right, so let's get back to this. So we were able to skin the 2 dragons. That took a little while, of course, to do all that. What are the rest of you doing while they're getting these dragon scales off the dragons? Do you want to investigate any of the attackers or
Dragon dentistry?
Oh yes, I want a tooth for every dragon we've fought and killed.
Yeah.
Glory to Bahamut.
All right.
I am pickpocketing the dead.
Dragon? He has pockets?
No, the soul, whatever.
The cult members and the gladiator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are those outhouses?
Oh, they're near the outhouses, yes. So the dragon gladiators over here, dragon souls over there, and all the dragon wing guys and claws are over here.
We should probably dump them in the outhouse holes when we're done.
People that are still resting here might want to still use said facilities.
Yeah.
No matter how humorous this would be.
And it's not like a huge hole. I mean, it's a hole, but it's not like big enough to hide a body in. Especially
I was saying like
bodies.
put them like they were sitting on the toilet and they just.
You're just gonna prop them up in there.
Yeah.
Then the next person who comes up
that way
opens
it's
the door
not suspicious. Yeah.
You've got some skinned dragons in the middle of the road. I mean, that's kind of. I don't know what suspicious you're trying to avoid here.
Us being suspicious, I guess, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
Like part of the building's already been blown off. Yeah, and I don't think you're getting away from this scene of like nothing happened.
Oh,
nothing to see here.
Since dragon meat's a delicacy, we could tell all the people inside, hey, come harvest as much as you can, and at that point, all that would be left would be bones and like ligaments and fat when they're all done.
Which even the bones are pretty valuable.
Yeah.
True.
Go ahead and mount the skull
for dragon stock.
Yeah.
Play like the Native American, where we use every single part of its corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're talking about that, and like the bartender or the owners of the establishment both come out, and they're just like, are you going to be using all of that dragon? Kind of would like to have some of that meat for delicacy to kind of pay for some of the rebuilding of my inn, if that's okay.
You can buy it from us.
Buy it from you?
Yeah, we just want free night.
Oh, yes.
Just give us some free lodging.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll refund your money for the lodging.
Like we destroyed part of his building. Yes, we're gonna need you to pay for part of it.
Hey, they destroyed. Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Yeah.
It came here potentially for us.
Oh, it could be for anyone else. It could have been for the night.
Yeah.
It could have been for anybody.
We can't prove anything.
Well, let me get back to Torrel is kind of like digging through the bodies and stuff. And Torrel, you do find some coins here and there, about 15 gold pieces altogether. Most of which was being held by the Dragon Soul, the leader. The others had a few coins on them, but not very much. But what you did find on the dragon leader is a little bit of a note that has been mostly burned away, but not entirely. But what you can read from it though is someone did give them directives to come and find you guys and attack you, but you don't know who, because most of the note is burned away.
How much gold was it?
15.
Okay. I rolled.
So they were here for you.
Well, I don't care about all that. I rolled a 32 to sleight of hand that 15 gold into my pocket.
Oh yeah, you make it very nonchalantly doing all that while they're all busy worrying about the dragons.
And I come out and I'm like, God, cheap skates. All they had was this stupid note. They were coming after us.
Typical.
Elkas is just going to grab a dragon tooth and
Okay.
just mutter under his breath, Perry wanted a gift for helping, so I'll be right back. And then he'll twirl and go into the astral plane for a few minutes.
Okay. All right, so you disappear.
Did he help?
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. So I'm like talking to myself.
But my hole is open on the ground there, so if you want to toss anything in it.
I'm gonna give Groomp his final scratch on his forehead so that he has the letter Z on an eyebrow, and offer him his freedom, or to go rejoin his clan with a new badge of honor as a dragon slayer, or you can stick with us and continue on for glory.
Grumph don't know. Grumph have to think about it, and you see him try to think, and you see his face all contort, and like he's trying to let out a big dump is what his face looks like, and he is like, me think I follow you. You fun, fight dragons, do stuff instead of just drink.
We are fun.
Welcome to the team, Grump.
What's wrong with drinking?
Someone get this guy an entire barrel of wine. He earned it.
So he kind of like, whenever you get done talking to him, he's just kind of like looking inside the building since he couldn't go in before. He's kind of like bent down, looking inside the room, checking out the interior since he couldn't go in before. All right, so what are we doing now? So the dragons have been skinned and everything. You've taken what you want from them. You found a note that says that you were the targets of this attack, but not much else. Proprietors are letting you have your rooms back to finish out the night, while they kind of finish off taking these dragons apart and what little meat they can get from them. The dire wolf has had his fill. Eclipse has had her fill.
Finishing tonight.
All right.
Yeah. Valdan's gonna still sleep outside just in case something else hairy happens. Because Grump's probably gonna sleep outside. I don't know if Zapdos is still going to, but just in case we have any other visitors tonight.
Grump he's no longer got his sitting wall, so he goes around the other side and pushes up against the wall, kind of just to sit and sleep against the wall over here. Zapdos, I'm assuming you go and kind of sit next to him, or are you gonna go inside?
I want to crawl into a tree.
You're gonna go crawl into a tree and sleep. Like, I'm gonna miss all the action if I stay out as they go inside. All right, so you guys figure out. Some of you go back to the bedroom and go back to sleep, and the night goes through. And the next morning, you guys head out. Of course, these corpses, these dragons, have already been cleaned up, and you see them serving some dragon meat for breakfast. They give you some complimentary dragon meat, which is quite tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Put some good spices on it.
Question. Do they
How much?
make... Oh. Sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
Do they make daggers or other types of weapons out of the dragon bone, or...
There is a dragon tooth kind of weapon you can make. It has to be enchanted, though.
Okay.
All right, but you can take the dragon tooth if you want to see if you can get that made at some point.
Sure.
So we should have at least two teeth.
Mm-hmm. it's kind of the canines are the ones that are the longest. So.
Yeah, if there's
Alright.
any Dune fans here, we got a couple Chris knives.
Yep. All right.
Emmeline, don't forget your rat dagger.
Yes. Yeah. You threw
I
that.
bet you that's what I used to get the tea.
Also, for those of us that are injured after the end of the long rest, how long would that be for the rest of the night?
So this happened about midnight, so you guys can just kind of decide to take a little longer rest, not get up at 6, and just kind of wait and let yourself be fully rested if you want.
Little
It's up to you.
nappy
You're pretty
That sounds like a great
close.
idea.
You're pretty close to Waterdeep, and then just a short, half a day's trip up to the cottage where Fizzban's little stronghold is.
I mean, Zapdos is all about sleeping in.
Okay. All right. So you guys pass by Waterdeep. Then the Elf Knight and the Noble leave your party at that point, heading into Waterdeep. They thank you so much for the passage and promise to send. The Noble promises to send you some coinage as soon as he's able to get back to his home. And the Knight says, if you ever need any help, just let me know, and I will do what I can to help. If our paths cross again. And all right. From there, you guys continue on the road southwest from Waterdeep, crossing over the river, the Desserin River, and make your way off the road and into the woods, back towards Fizzban's little hut. Let's go.
I believe I heard the mention of level up.
No, you guys leveled up after the giant fight, so.
True.
Oh, did we? All right.
Yep.
Never mind then.
Should be
Yeah, that would-
11.
Yeah, that would have been a little too quick for another level up, so.
No, I forgot that we leveled up after the giant fight. That's on me.
It's alright. As you guys kind of come back into, make your way back here, you see that Fizzban comes out to greet you, kind of come into the room, and Fizzban greets you coming out of his little study here, and he kind of waves you into his room. Come, you've arrived just at the right time. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to have a brief conversation with you.
I suppose.
Do what?
I suppose.
Suppose?
We're here.
Make
I'll
it
sit
brief.
down.
Yeah, he's been alright so far.
Grumph and your direwolf both stay outside, by the way. Right.
Is that because he told us they had to, or because they just are like, yeah, it's
They're
cool?
not gonna. Well, the direwolf is not the best idea to bring inside, and then the Grump just can't fit through the door. So.
He's not house trained.
Oh. Oh.
I could imagine Grump like going to pet Eclipse and having her hair stand on her back just because he's so big, and he could just be like, "Nice kitty," you know, because he's so big.
Well,
Right.
while you're in this spot, Alex, Zapdos is no longer a seagull.
Yes, thank you. I got that. It's from on the previous saving. So.
No, it's all good.
All right, so you follow Fizzban into his little room here. Delan had departed from your party as well back in Waterdeep. After you had passed Waterdeep, he's off to take care of a few things that Fizzban has asked him to do. And so when you arrive, you enter the room and you find Romalia Haventree from the Harpers. She's a wizard that has... The Harpers have a lot of information that they have like a little organization of spies and kind of traitor network and stuff that they get a lot of information from. So you see her standing there kind of waiting for you guys to enter, and Fizban, of course, directs all of you in to join. Come in, come in. I was just talking to Romalia here. It seems we have something that could be of most important interest at the moment. It seems that we have been able to track down Romalia here has been looking into the WyrmSpeakers. So you see, each of the WyrmSpeakers are one of Severin's top 5 attendants. They each have a mask that is one of the 5 masks needed to bring back Tiamat. And so Severin, the one in charge of the dragon cult who's attempting to bring back Tiamat, he has the red dragon mask. There's Galvan the Blue, who has the blue dragon mask, which controls blue dragons. And then there is Resmir the Black, who has the black dragon mask. And then there's another one that has the green. We're not sure what his name is, but we do know there's one called the White. His name is what was his name? Oh man, I'm having a difficulty thought at the moment. I did lose that. Why am I having a brain fart at the moment?
Senior moment.
Yep. Verum the White. Yes, Verum the White. Yes. He is a dwarf that is part of the members of the cult, but he has been spotted east of here, southeast of here at Borskir Bridge, just the other day, and so Romalia has come here hoping that she might be able to utilize you adventurers to help her track down Verum the White. If we can get a hold of one of the dragon masks, that'll make combining them all together into the key that Severin needs in order to release Tiamat much, much harder. I think it's a good lead that we should follow, but I want to leave that up to you if you want to do that. Otherwise, we'll have to make different plans.
Other than bringing back Tiamat, do these masks hold any other powers besides controlling the specific dragons?
Of course. They have a number of different properties among them. They have, like I said, the main property is, of course, controlling dragons, but the other properties, and I know you would ask that, just as I don't have the right page pulled up.
Valdan's always scheming, so...
absolutely.
Hey, Ben.
So they give you bonuses to stuff like charisma or other stuff, to add to your armor classes. They make you more strong. They give you kind of a draconic majesty. They also give you a breath weapon that you can use like a dragon as you have the mask over your face. They kind of like absorb any damage that dragon would normally be immune to. So if you are wearing the white dragon mask, any cold spells or magic against you would have a resistance to that. You even have dark vision and blind sight when you wear the mask upon your face. You can speak to dragons as though it was common tongue. And you get some of different, just depending on the mask, you get different minor abilities as well, dependent upon the traits of the dragon that it's emulating.
Valdan's going to turn to the party members and say, well, if we could collect enough of these, we could have our own little masquerade party. I know for sure it would make my face look a lot better.
I agree.
Fizban, can he decipher that note we found at the stronghold?
Oh, yes, let me see that. And he looks at it. He's kind of like skimming it a little bit. Yes. Deep magic here. Some sort of coding magic. I'll need to take some time to review this. I'll do that while you are out if you decide to go help Romalia here, I can do that. But should have it deciphered by the time you get back.
Oh, the Giants also had this map on their wall.
Oh, yes. This will be most helpful to Lord Neverember, who has been dealing with the dragons and sending out parties from Waterdeep to put an end to their attacks. How did that go, by the way? Did you find the stronghold and take care of the issue? I'm assuming you'd found the stronghold, obviously, but did you take care of the issue?
More or less.
They are taken care of.
Giants
we made
are
a few
scattered.
friends along the way.
Yes, I've heard the thunderings of that giant outside. Yes, you see, I have a bit of a magical connection with my building, so I know what's on the outside of it. Yes, and there's a wolf out there too, if I'm not mistaken. That belonged to one of you.
Yes, she's become a dear friend.
Ah, I see. Very good. Very good. Always nice when one can make friends. Even when they may not have the best of friends around them. Always good to make new friends. Oh, but you haven't answered my question. Will you help Romalia here? Track down
think it
Varum
sounds
the
fun.
White?
I think it sounds fun.
Alright. That
Best
would be...
friends.
That would be very helpful. I do ask that you bring back the white dragon mask. Such an important artifact would definitely need to be discussed with the council. So please don't any kind of eyes veil Valdan a little bit suspiciously. Please don't wear the mask and decide to do something with it. That could be disastrous.
Aw. I look back at Torrel too, like, why are they all looking just at me?
Hey, are the masks like cursed or something to wear it? Or like, do they talk to you or something, or are they just magical items?
As far as I know, they don't have any sentience and talk to you, but that's an awful lot of power for any one person to hold.
Okay, but we don't have to be afraid to like touch them and get cursed or something?
No, they're not cursed at all. Nope, they just have the properties of the dragons that they are associated with and the ability to have influence over those same dragons.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, let's roll.
Alright.
I'm gonna
Romalia comes...
you though, Fizzban.
Romalia comes forward and kind of like acknowledges you and says, "Thank you so much for your assistance. We must hurry on to Borskir Bridge to the southwest. That was the last place that Varum was seen, and I don't want to lose his trail." Fizzband says, yes. I'm assuming you want to take your giant friend with you, is that correct?
Yep, he's with us now. He's
Right. Well, I don't think he'll fit through my doorway, my magical doorway, so I'll have to go outside with you. So he goes outside, takes all of you outside the little hut here. Alrighty, let's see. I need a bit of a bigger dimensional door here. Let's see if I can make this big enough to accommodate your friend. And he kind of does a little bit of magical kind of switch here. This creates a gate. Ah, yes. There we go. Big enough for your friend if he ducks just a little bit to get through. I put him. He's over here. Alright, so you guys head through the gate, and anything that you wanted to do before you head out?
Eclipse sniffs him a little bit while he's doing his dimension door ritual. You know, just like a dog coming up, checking somebody's scent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Makes sense. Oh, nice doggy. Yes. And you see her automatically kind of sniff him, and he lets out his hand, and she just lets him pet him like he's nothing, like he's no threat. Ah, yes, I've been so good with animals. And at the same time he says that, you see a couple birds land on his shoulder and on top of his hat. You see, they like me.
Valdan likes him a little more because of this.
All right, now, I must get back to my work and decipher this message for you, so have a good trip. That dimension door is going to shut soon, so you better get going. And he goes back to the hut. All right, ready to go?
Yes. Jump through.
So that takes you southwest to the Borskir Bridge, which is in the area of Najar. I think I said that correctly. I'm not going to pretend I know how this is pronounced. And so, Borskir Bridge is down here near the Forest of Worms and the Serpent Hills. Borskir Bridge. Alright, so as you kind of magically teleport and come up near Borskir Bridge, you see you're on a road that's heading towards a big old bridge there, you know, made of an ancient-looking bridge that spans this river. And you can see that on both sides of the bridge, there looks like there's two huge statues of two deities looking at each other in kind of a pose of combat against each other. Anybody want to do a history check to see if you can remember who those are? Or know who they are?
I'm from a faraway place. I wouldn't have any idea who these people are. They're just statues to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Statues.
Okay.
Haha.
What was your roll?
Maybe acceptable.
What's your roll? Sorry, I'm busy. 18? Yeah, so you can tell that these are two deities. The one closest to where you're at is Cyric, the god of trickery, and the other side is Baal, a demonic god.
Oh.
On the far shore.
Wow.
The god ball. Aradan.
I played Diablo. I know who that is.
I was thinking Stargate, but yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Little bit of different origin in this one, but still very similar. Yeah.
Like half of the demons in Charmed too. Like that guy, doesn't he play him?
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Too bad
Forgot about
he died
that
from gliding. The actor.
He died what?
He was gliding and he crashed.
who crashed?
The actor who played Ball in Stargate, Cliff Simon, he died, I want to say 2 years ago because of a gliding accident.
Oh, sad.
That sucks.
Yeah. He was definitely one of the better parts of Stargate, which there was a lot of them, but you know, he was a damn good villain.
Sorry, I was trying to find Aradan. I couldn't find you. You weren't in my other bag.
Sneak.
All right. Okay.
You mean
so when you guys,
we were in bags. I was separated from my wife. What?
No, you were in a bag with her as well, but it's not the one that I had all these other characters
God.
in.
Oh, you were with my sister again?
What?
Hold up,
Identical
you have a
sister. Also missing Torrel. Dang it! I thought I had everybody out here. Stop adding NPCs. I don't know how many people I've got anymore. All right. Let's see. I need to update this before I.
Hey, we
get
know
off
how
here
to
tonight.
party.
I know, right? You know how to party.
We We just
Party
rolled.
up.
Ah.
We collect NPCs to help us out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw an article earlier today how it said the different scenarios in Strahd, like the coffin maker and a couple others, like the witch of their hut, how they're all like can be party wiped. And I was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, our characters always generate an army. It's the reason why we didn't have a super difficult time.
Yeah, you guys have been kind of like collecting people and getting through these things a little bit easier because of that. Yeah, and making some decisions that just kind of work out in your favor. So, yeah. All right. All right, so as you guys appear here and you see those statues and you kind of see across the bridge, you see there's a small fort that has been built up on this side, but mostly the little town across the way is just a bunch of kind of tents and stuff, the little tent city they've made on the other side. And as you appear, there's a guy driving a wagon nearby, and he kind of jumps in his seat at the sight of all of you guys coming out of this dimension doorway, and he just kind of like snaps the reins and starts heading off as quickly as he can across the bridge away from you. Barrels kind of like bouncing in the back of his cart.
So much for our booze.
As you also see that there's a couple of guards standing on the edge. As you approach, they look like they're more like knights. They're not really full. They're kind of like definitely in plate mail armor, a little bit more dressed up than your normal guard would be wearing.
Wave to him.
They just they don't say anything as you approach. They just kind of let you pass without bothering you.
Valdan just smiles with a zombie
Goodbye.
face as he walks by.
The guard the guard that does that tries to maintain that kind of stoic looking out, as though he's just watching and not letting things bother him. But you can definitely see a bit of a grimace on his face. So as the cart moves all the way down across, you guys start making your way across this place as well. I'm only going to move Aradan at the moment because that is just way too many people to keep track of. You guys are all with Aradan. Alright, so as you make your way across, you definitely see the liveliness of this town, and there are people all about, kind of just going about their daily business. It looks like a normal little town, except that it's a little tent city instead of, an actual city. But so where do you want to start investigation to see if you can find out any information?
I'm gonna cast what the hell's the name of the spell? The one that lets me hear thoughts.
Okay.
Detect thoughts.
That's the one.
I think that's targeted on just one single being, right? But you can switch it each turn to a different creature.
I can focus my mind on any one creature that I see within 30 feet of me, so I could make my way through and see if I catch anything.
Yeah. So you could, if in battle it'd be one per turn, but since we're not in battle, you can kind of make your switch here and there as you go through, listening for a few seconds on each one. So as you go by, you're hearing some mundane thoughts about, oh, I've got to go water those crops, or, I've got to go to the market, or other stuff like that. Hear some thoughts about, will so-and-so take me to the festival, that kind of weird stuff. But eventually you do kind of make your way through, and you see this guy kind of looks like an innkeeper, and he looks at your group and he says, you can hear his thoughts, gosh, I hope they're not like that last group that came through here. That was a mess.
Okay. I'd like to greet him and say, hello, sir.
You see him visibly, like when he kind of makes eye contact with you whenever he says that in his head, and you immediately hear him going, he can't read my thoughts, can he? Oh my gosh, I hope he can't read my thoughts. Oh gosh, straightened up. Yes, what can I do for you, good sir?
Oh, nothing, just passing through, just trying to be friendly.
Okay, yes. Good day to you. How about you come into my nice inn? My name is Bolo, and this is my little inn here. I know it doesn't seem like much to you, probably city folk, but it's probably the nicest tent you're gonna find here. There's lots of a little bar set up in there, and a little bit of drinks, some nice bed mats and rolls. Nice place to sleep if you need it. Of course, it is early in the day, but it's midday at this point, so you don't want to sleep. But if you need a place for the night, don't forget about Bolo's.
That sounds great. Do you happen to get many groups of people come through here, or is this mostly a locals only kind of traffic?
So again, he kind of like freaks out a bit, wondering if you heard his thoughts, and then he kind of shakes it off. No, that he can't be reading my thoughts. That's silly. Yeah, we get lots of people through here. This road is still pretty traveled. People coming from Waterdeep and other areas heading southwest. We don't get many people from the northeast though, but that land is kind of overrun with various creatures and monsters out there. The lizard folk and others that head in through the forests and the hills out there.
As long as they're not,
hills.
as long as they're not dragons, I am absolutely terrified of dragons, and I just kind of try to plant the dragon seed to see if his mind flashes to anything useful.
It does for a moment. For a moment, you see, and I don't know. Does surface thought or is it surface thoughts or is it?
It's
deeper
surface thoughts, but I can kind of direct the conversation and just kind of try to direct the flow of thoughts.
Does it give you images or does it just give you thoughts? Like,
it just kind of gives thoughts.
Okay.
I can dig deeper and see that stuff if I want to, but right now it's just surface thoughts.
Yeah, you kind of get this like, gosh, why are they always wanting to know about dragons? Ugh, probably is looking for that dude. I'm gonna just keep it cool, Bolo. Keep it cool. Dragons? I've heard dragons are being seen, but haven't seen any this far yet.
Well, that's good. That is the last thing I want to run into. I am absolute coward when it comes to dragons. Especially, none of the colors are fun, but I think my least favorite are the blue and the white. They're definitely the meanest from what I've heard.
White. Yeah, he would have to bring that up. He's definitely looking for that guy. Oh, colored dragons? Yeah, I've heard red are pretty fierce.
Yeah, but you can usually, based on what I read, just kind of know what they're after. The white and the blue, from what I've read, seem to be very feral and unreasonable.
Are you kidding? I mean, they're all unreasonable, my friend. They're dragons.
Yeah, but throw a little gold or something their way, and you can usually at least buy yourself a minute. The other ones, I don't know. You never know. Based on what I read.
Guy says he's been reading about dragons. That's odd. Must be a scholar or something. Well, maybe he's not related to this other guy.
Is that out of character?
No, this is him. I'm talking in a bit of a whisper, or a little bit lower tones, as this is his surface thoughts. Sorry, I should have said
those
that.
Those are Alex's thoughts.
Sorry, I guess I should say.
Start doing push-ups near them.
I'm watching.
And mentally, with my little telepathy thing that I can do, I will connect with that lady's in the group with us, right? The one,
Don't talk about me like that.
Yes, Ramalia.
Yes, Ramalia. I'm gonna connect with her and just be really quickly like, he saw the other group go through. He didn't seem to like them, but I would have to dig pretty deep to figure out where they went, if you want me to.
Perhaps we should just ask him and see if he'll be kind enough to tell us.
Ask?
Well, I'm trying to play dumb here to that group, so I'm going to go into the bar, and if anybody else wants to ask them, they can. And I'm just going to kind of say out loud to the guy, well, thanks, I would actually like a drink after a long journey.
Okay, so yeah, you head inside to the tent, and inside the tent there's a little bit of like a couple of crates kind of stacked near each other and kind of making a makeshift bar, and there's a young man about maybe 18 or 19 who's sitting behind them with some bottles of wine and stuff, and he's trying to be a bartender, but obviously it doesn't look like a bar, but he's pretending.
Then I'll just ask for like a glass of wine or something and just kind of sip it.
He gives you a thing of wine and takes 1 copper piece off of you.
Okay.
Not much. It's not the greatest wine, so.
It'll serve the purpose.
Anybody else gonna talk with Bolo or wanted to address Bolo? Bolo's kind of just standing there like, this is getting a bit awkward. But are you coming in for drinks or passing through or?
There's drinks, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
All
Is
right,
anybody
come in.
here brave
Yes,
enough to, arm wrestle us this time, or are we gonna get lamed out on again?
Oh, yes. I will challenge you
arm
for arm
wrestle.
wrestling. Yes.
Yes. We do get a few of the soldiers in here every once in a while. They might be
Oh,
willing to
yeah.
arm wrestle, but there's none in there at the moment. They usually don't come until the evening.
Alright.
Well, we'll be drinking until then.
We'll wait around.
Well, we might do other things first, but still.
So as you guys kind of pass by him and not asking him, you see Ramalia kind of like huffing, and so she goes over to him. Look, I know that you are hiding something. You have seen who we're looking for. A dwarf about yay high, wearing all white, has maybe inquiring about a mask. And you see Bolo kind of like start to like get really like anxious and kind of rubbing his hands. Yes, I suppose. Could have said possibly I've seen him. Dwarf and what kind of robes did you say? Well, he might be wearing purple robes, too, as part of the cult of the dragon. And you see his eyes go big. Oh, yes, dwarf in purple robes. Oh, I saw him. And he was asking about escorts into the hills, into the Serpent Hills, when this hooded fellow starts asking him his business. The dwarf looked him straight in the eyes, straight in the eyes of this hooded fellow, and then pulled out his dagger and stabbed that tall fellow dead. It was one of the scaled folk of the Serpent Hills, that other fellow, had himself shrouded up in his cloak, and they come down to spy on us periodically, but that dwarf, well, he's a bit of a hero if you ask me, because he stabbed that lizard man right then and there, but he and his entourage took off straight for the hills, quick as cats they were. They took off and just was gone before I could even thank them. Yeah, they were asking a lot of questions about dragons as well. About a mask of some sort.
And I used the last little bit of my detect thoughts to try to probe deeper and just take a peek around, since she already told him that we're looking for the guy.
Yeah, so he is definitely kind of reliving those thoughts, and you can kind of see him like, yeah, he stabbed that dwarf, or he stabbed that tall guy pretty good, that dwarf did. Although he was a bit creepy, a bit pushy, but still kind of a hero, killing that lizard guy. Yep, took off for the hills, though. Hope he comes back.
So it doesn't look like he's distorting the truth at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Valdan's gonna ask if that dwarf left anything by chance here at camp. Any items of clothing, anything of that sort.
No, he was just here with some companions, about a dozen or so, all cloaked and hooded, wearing purple robes, kind of like he was. I assumed them to maybe be barbarian mercenaries or something, but don't know what they were. To be honest, they are very interested in the dragons. Hmm. I thought I saw for a moment, and maybe this was just a trick of my eyes, but it looked like one of those men had like a beard made of like chain like spikes or something. It was weird. Uh, like dangling from his chin. Maybe that was just a mask he was wearing. Anybody want to do a history check and see if they can figure out what he's describing?
Sure.
Oh,
Again.
You don't know, Chelan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Would a 13 do it?
Not rolling well.
Aradan, you kind of get an idea that this may be some sort of otherworldly being or some sort of, definitely not a human. It probably wasn't a mask if it's dangling these things from the chin area. You can't think of any masks like that, so you can't quite narrow it down to what it is exactly. And everybody else, about the same for Elkas on that. Guys are kind of chatting back and forth on that. Oh, Zapdos. Zapdos knows what this is. You immediately realize you've seen one of these in a rare encounter for a brief moment in your past. This sounds like a bearded devil from one of the seven hells. They have these big tendril-like, kind of like bearded-looking tendrils coming off of their face that hang down a couple of feet, and they're full of spikes, and they kind of use them in combat.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna whisper to the guy he doesn't know how lucky he is to be alive. Like, now that I know what that is, like, hey, if you see those guys again, stay away from them.
So, with that realization, Ramalia kind of says, the cult are now in league with the devils? This makes no sense. Although, if Tiamat is in Avernus, it could be that she's lending support to them with demons and devils from down in Avernus.
Hold up.
That doesn't seem to be far of a stretch. Sounds like I need to mess up some devils too. Glorious.
Alright, so you have a general direction. He was headed off into the Serpent Hills, which is northeast of here, back across the bridge, back that way. He was here not too long ago, so early this morning is about the earliest time that he can remember seeing him. And when that happened, when he stabbed a guy, he ran off in that direction. So you could probably catch up to him after, not too far behind him.
Yeah, I say
So
we
we-
make haste.
We
I'm
fill
down
our
to go.
water skins with some wine and then take off.
I'm down to go for a jog.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so you guys fill up your water skins, kind of, thank Bolo for his information, pay for any wine that you've been drinking. So,
Oh.
who's been drinking wine? It's not the best wine, so you're happy to kind of leave that area. 1 copper piece for each cup you drink.
That's pretty good. That's fair.
Economic wine. Wonderful. The flopping bags.
Yeah, it's
No
the
Red Dragon Crush, but
it's the very cheap, more like Red Dragon Mush.
Ooh.
Tastes like these humans regurgitated it themselves.
Yep. you got Zapdos like, I like throw up, but this is just awful.
Oof.
Alright. Okay, so let's move back to the map as we start heading on the trail. So going back across the bridge, anyone want to do a nature check to see if you can pick up the trail or survival? Either of those will work.
survival.
Try.
22.
Oh yeah, Zapdos and actually it's pretty easy to find their trail. They were in such a hurry leaving here that their big boots of the dwarf and everything were leaving a nice big trail, followed by the 12 little entourage with them as they head northwest towards the. So from Boreskin Bridge, heading northwest, slightly through the high moor, and then it looks like it's heading on northeast towards the Serpent Hills. So as you're kind of running to catch up and trying to fall and everything, or kind of jogging to catch up, we'll be moving that direction. You keep continuing to follow them that way. So every 6 hour. Let's see. I gotta do this. Roll an encounter check. Nope. Okay. So your first bit of the run, as you're going along, doesn't seem to run past anybody. Don't seem to be finding any encounters or anything that's finding anybody along the way. Does look like it's getting dark though about this time because it was midday when you got here. So after about 6 hours of travel, kind of moving there, you get just outside the Serpent Hills and it's starting to get dark. Want to keep traveling?
How many days have passed since the end of the giant fight?
You are on the third day.
And you said it was about 2 or 3 days for a full moon, right? When I'd asked the guy? Okay. If it's heading towards the nighttime, I'll let the group decide what they're going to do. Then that'll determine what I do.
You know that tonight you've been watching the moon ever since then, and you know tonight it'll hit its apex and be a full moon tonight.
All right, let's get some kinky chains.
Well, I don't know if I would have vocalized that. I just don't know if the group's taking a long rest, if we're near a city.
Are you guys taking a rest, or are you going to try to keep moving on through the night? You're going to lose sight of the trail as the darkness kind of comes in. Be harder to track anyways. You got some people with night vision, but
I say we take a rest.
Can Eclipse help? Yeah, absolutely. So Eclipse can try to keep tracking if you want to follow along.
I'd like to take a rest.
We can let our trackers move forward a little bit and come back with details if they locate the camp.
Okay.
But I think we should just hunker down and get ready because they probably know we're coming.
Yeah.
Okay. How far are you going to let your trackers? Who's on the tracker team?
Well, Valdan and Eclipse are probably going to be headed out. I don't have night vision. I'm worthless. I'll stick around with Grumpf and guard the camp.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, because Valdan's gonna kind of turn mainly to Zapdos. He's not gonna say this super loud to everybody, especially some of the paladins, because he doesn't know how they're gonna react. But he's gonna kind of go up and whisper to Zapdos, and he's gonna do a Speak with Animals ritual to let Eclipse know, and he's gonna say, "Hey, keep your eyes peeled. You should have some shifts tonight. I don't know, what's gonna happen, and then he's gonna tell Eclipse too if he gets a little out of control to have her run back to Zapdos for safety."
Okay. Good luck. Go find that camp. I don't know if anyone else is going with you.
I think it's safer that we go alone. As I look up to the sky and wink at you, Zapdos.
Oh.
All right. So Valdan, you head off into the night and kind of like following along with Eclipse, kind of looking further ahead, going about 10 or 15 miles up a little bit, kind of like looking up ahead and then coming back after that. But during your trip is when you get hit by, you suddenly start to feel rage inside you that you've never felt before. Your mind starts to cloud and it's almost like you feel like you're going to sleep, but your body is definitely not going to sleep. And you black out. You don't remember anything that happens. The rest of your party does not see you for the rest of the night.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if you have any encounters of the night. Who's doing guard shifts?
I'll do first.
Okay.
I could take second with somebody.
Sure.
Okay.
Then I guess Grumph and I will be last.
All right. So the first few shifts, nothing happens. Romali will take a shift as well. Okay. Actually, you have a pretty peaceful night. You do hear some howling off in the distance. In fact, a lot of howling. One of them you're pretty sure is Eclipse. The other one you're not quite sure. It's a new sound of a howl that you've never heard before. You hear a little bit of little bit of dog fighting a little bit too, but not much. And then that rest of the night goes pretty peacefully. All right. So the next morning, Valdan has not yet returned. The sun comes up.
I am unconcerned for now.
All right. So you can see the trail again pretty well. The trail of the way they were heading, is pretty visible. They didn't take any kind of precautions to make sure they weren't being followed, but it's still heading northeast directly into the Serpent Hills, on what looks like kind of a straight course northeast.
Well, let's pack up and continue following it.
Okay. All right.
I can send a message to Valdan if you guys want me to.
That's up to you guys. He'll catch up when he's ready, though. He does this.
Yeah.
We're gonna find him on the trail.
Probably.
Okay. All right. So you guys start heading into the Serpent Hills, getting a little further into there. Several hours kind of pass as you kind of go through the midday. You take a break for lunch as the noon sun comes around. And about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you finally see something of an importance. You kind of make one last bend around a small hill, and you see that one of these larger hills has a structure with an old ruins there, and you see laying on the ground with Eclipse kind of next to him, nudging him, a nearly half-naked Valdan.
I told you he'd show up.
And I look like
he's breathing.
shit.
Yeah, he looks like shit for Valdan.
For sure.
Right.
Does he look
Guess
like
they
he's
finally-
breathing though from this far away?
Guess they consummated the relationship there.
Whoa.
That is a thought that goes through all of your minds. Yes, you're like, what happened?
Well, it could be a guy's name too.
Do we want to ask Valdan or?
We'll just take the don't ask, don't tell
Okay.
policy on this one, maybe.
Okay.
So,
At this point, I think we just wake him up and keep going.
What else are we gonna do? All right. He's not awake. Yeah, sorry, he's awake or no?
yeah, it doesn't take much to wake him up, but he looks like he's been like drinking all night or something, but he's also like all of his robes and stuff are torn from where he has looks like he's busted out of them.
Be like, hey buddy, we've all had those nights. Come on.
There is also a bunch of blood kind of around his mouth from where he's been eating something like raw. So
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
see Valdan. Let's go.
I imagine as like
I
Elkas
feel
wakes
like
him
I'm
up.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine as Elkas wakes me up, I'm like laying, stomach down, and I lift up, and then you really see the blood and pieces of like raw meat around my face and like down my neck. And as Elkas is like rustling me up, Eclipse wakes up and starts like gently licking it off my face.
Ew. That's
It's like
Get
nice.
a room.
All right, lovebirds.
where he wakes up with the dead deer and is like, "Oh God, not again."
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Like, don't want to ask.
yeah. So Eclipse is definitely nearby you, kind of licking you while they're trying to wake you up. She's trying to get you up as well. When you are able to get Valdan up, you take a chance to look at your surroundings here, and so it seems like whatever state you were in, you were still looking for this area, and so what you see in front of you is you see an entrance to a tomb standing in what was once a large paved plaza. The remains of a fountain are now a little more than a stone circle set around a crumbling hole in the ground, leading to what looks like a well deep below. 2 stone statues in the courtyard, rising 20 feet high. Behind them, a 40-foot-high edifice is carved into the cliffside, dominated by relief columns carved with strange and otherworldly scenes. So let's show where that's all at. So there is a fountain over here that you guys can kind of see, like between as you're kind of looking around, and you can see that these are the 2 statues. Behind it, this is actually up. It's like 40 feet up. The ladder leads 40 feet up to this entrance of this tomb, this lost tomb. Along the ground, you can see bodies here as well.
Are the bodies fresh?
Yeah, they're not skeletons, so yeah. You can actually see, it looks like one body from where you see was dragged away. You can see like the dirt being dragged and some of the blood on the ground, but the dirt, it's been dragged off that direction. But
I just start whistling and walk past them like, I don't know anything about this.
They're wearing cultist robes and stuff. Bright purple robes. Looks a lot like the dragon dragon fangs that you guys have dealt with in the past.
Can we look at the tents and see if there's anything inside?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you see a small campfire that's still burning a little bit. So whoever was here not too long ago. It's like the embers are still going in it. These are 10-foot squares, by the way, so it's a big area. And so you have just a couple of tents here. The tents look like they've been kind of there's a little bit of backpacks of like food and rations and stuff. But for the most part, it doesn't look like they've got many equipment here. You also notice on the ground, you see a lot of interesting footprints. Not all of them from like humanoid with shoes. Like some of these are strange footprints. Anyone want to do a nature or survival check to see if they can figure out the prints?
Me.
Would I have advantage on that since I already know that like one of those demon people, like what they are?
Yeah. Okay, so Zapdos, you don't see any of these prints matching kind of like a demon's foot, but then again, some of the demons do wear, especially a bearded devils, do wear like shoes over their feet. But what you do notice, though, and you and Emmeline both kind of check them out, and so what you see is what you thought was maybe some bodies being dragged. There's one that's a couple that's been dragged around and disappeared. But there are some of these little spots that you thought were drag are actually the slithering of a giant snake tail. And you also see footprints that are not entirely human, and you realize that these might be UNT. These are kind of like a serpent-like people. Snake people. Mm-hmm. They have differing levels of how snake-like they are, but you know.
I play Alonti in a different campaign. Like these things these are no joke.
Yeah, and the Serpent Hills are known to have a number of Yuan-Ti in them, so it's not uncommon to that. But you kind of get the sense that the Yuan-Ti have abducted whoever was here, that whoever remained of the party may have been abducted by the Yuan-Ti and taken inside the ruins.
Oh, no.
Whether or not the dwarf Varum was among them, you're not sure, but they've abducted somebody.
Okay, there's nothing written down. No journal or anything.
No journal or anything. Yep.
Okay.
Let's ask our wizard friend what she wants to do. The one who brought us here.
Mm-hmm. Well, these ruins, if I look at them right, they are clearly some ruins of an old civilization. Yes. I don't know if we should enter, but it looks like somebody has already entered these ruins, so we must be careful if we go in there, but we do need to get Varum. We can't let the dragon mask, if he has it, fall into the hands of the Yuan-Ti. That would be very detrimental. Maybe not as detrimental as letting out Tiamat, but still, they could use that hold over the white dragons to wreak some havoc.
Is there any evidence of them coming out?
Evidence of the Yuan-Ti coming out?
Yeah, like they went into the ruins, but there's no. Like
no. It just looks like the tracks lead back into the ruins. Yeah, that you can see.
Well, have we searched? That we pursue them.
Have we searched the bodies that are already on the ground?
You have not.
Let's do that first, real quick.
All right. So as you approach, you get close enough to the statues. You hear the sudden sound of grinding stone. The colossal figures turn their massive heads, their shattered features staring down at you. Two voices issue forth in unison, booming out as though erupting from the deep earth. Halt! You come before Daedarius, ether walker and conduit of clairvoyance. Behold ye now his wondrous triumphs. Daedarius extends wisdom, and Daedarius offers knowledge. Which do you seek?
Well, I don't have very much knowledge.
Do they seem sentient or more like robotic?
More robotic, as though this is a kind of a magical response, by somebody who approaches. Mm-hmm.
Hey, do we want to ask them if the white mask guy came through here?
Doesn't seem like they're going to answer to anything other than the answers to those two questions.
Well, that would be knowledge, right? Let's try knowledge.
Did you say knowledge?
You desire knowledge? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Daedarius shall grant you what you seek, but only if you heed him and continue to show proper respect. And with that, they turn their stone heads, grinding back to their original position.
Oh, is that it? You're not going to tell me what we have to follow? Okay.
Can we try to activate them again? Since this seems to be like a pre-message,
It looks like they're just a one and done type thing. Like they only respond to new arrivals.
I'm guessing we go up that ladder over there.
I don't feel much smarter after this experience.
I know. I'm kind of disappointed. And they didn't even tell us what rules we had to follow in order to be smarter.
Yes, it looks like they're a pre-programmed response. Don't think we'll get much more from them. He's kind
Well,
of like evaluating them.
Well, I guess we don't wreck this place and maybe we'll be smarter.
Did you want to check the bodies? That's what you came over here for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are definitely cultist members. You can see their daggers and stuff, their little cult daggers on that they keep on them, and their scimitars and stuff, and yeah. But you don't see any of the bearded devils that you had there, so they may or may not still be alive, or may have been dragged off. You're not sure, or may have went back to the Avernus, having skipped out on whoever was summoned them. But these are all just humanoid humans or elves or other races here that just seem to be members of the cult.
Okay.
There's a total of 5 bodies, though, so he had if your Bolo is to believe, he had an escort of 12.
Well, it looks like whoever did this narrowed the numbers down for us, so that should be nice.
Looks like we don't have much of a choice but to go in.
Yeah.
So as you guys kind of approach the ladder, you know it's only the size necessary for a medium-sized creature to climb up, and the wall is too sheer for Grumph to climb as well.
And I don't think Eclipse could climb the ladder.
Somebody would have to
like training her how.
Somebody would have to like carry her on their back or something.
Grumph could probably throw her up.
Yeah, I mean it's 40 feet up, but yeah.
Well, would bringing a direwolf into a potentially trap-ridden ruin be the best idea?
I think we leave them two to kind of guard
What
the ladder.
after your night together? No.
Grump play with Kitty. Grump play with Kitty.
Yeah, I've grown a little attached. I don't want anything to happen to her, so I'll
Grump
leave
comes
her with
over
Grump.
and starts trying to pet the direwolf, but he's doing a little too hard. Good kitty, good kitty, and the
Please
direwolf.
tell me he names her George.
I name you Gorge.
That's
gonna
like that
love
video
you.
with the guy petting the cat. God damn!
You can see the look of anger on Eclipse's face, but she's just enduring it because she's trying to appease Valdan. But you can see the look of like she's kind of like her lips are starting to snarl a little bit as he definitely way too rough with her. But he's trying to be good. He's like trying to pet the kitty.
You'll get used
Good
to the
kitty.
roughness. Don't worry.
Good kitty, come play. And he takes his big club. I got stick. Here, go get stick. And he throws his club, and it slams into a tree nearby. And the direwolf just looks at Valdan, and then looks like, not doing that.
And I just kind of tell her with that speak the animals ritual. I just kind of tell her like, hey, if it plays a little too rough, just keep your distance as we go into the tomb.
Will do. Can't be sure he'll have all fingers when you come back, but
Grump must
He
get
won't
homesick.
notice. He can't count anyway. He won't know if some are gone.
So the last thing you see of them is Grump trying to chase the direwolf around, who's just kind of playfully trying to get away from him, or pretending to play, but is just kind of moving around. Grump's like, come here, kitty. Catch stick, kitty.
What kind of cats does he have at home?
But would this direwolf recognize Grump from their time together?
Yeah, he probably would, but since Valdan called him, Zapdos called him a kitty, he's still learning Common, so he thinks it's called a kitty.
Aw.
That's a lack of your education. You're not gonna correct him?
Nope, I think it's adorable.
Okay. It's always little kids calling each other bitch because they're trying to say beach, but then it gets out of hand.
He'll learn as it gets older. We haven't had a lot of language training sessions.
All right, so you guys are climbing the ladder to go up. 40
Yes.
feet up to the... Yep, all right. So, Chelan, you're leading the way, going up there.
Sure.
Everyone else is kind of like watching the big hill giant play with the kitty. You're just starting to climb the ladder like, come on, guys, let's go. Ramali is right behind you as well. All right.
Zapdos will just fly up. Like, I'm not going to waste time climbing when I can fly.
All right. So, when you climb up to the top of the ladder, you see... So you see on the outside of as you kind of get to the top of the ladder, you see kind of gilded carvings and silver censers. You have this looks like a nice, cool relief carved walls that looks like some sort of like different scenes of just weird like landscapes or things or creatures fighting other creatures and stuff. But as you approach and kind of like inspect them, you realize that it's an illusion. That's been kind of projected over the wall, and whatever relief sculptures were there before that had all the gold and silver on it, they've been looted already, and so that the walls are actually kind of bare and disfigured from people looting it. But when you back away, the illusion restarts itself, and it looks like it's intact. So, as you approach, though, beyond that, there's a door that's slightly open, an old wooden door that's slightly open. And when you open it and head inside, what you see is a row of statues, 6 statues down the hall here. Oops, what do I have? You have 6 statues in front of you, each kind of staring at each other across the hall. They have hoods that are kind of like over their head, and you can see in the hollows that they're particularly dark, like darker than they should be, even in this dark area. But they seem to be staring at each other. There are skeletal bones and stuff, like littered of bones of humanoids littered around the statues.
Do all the statues look the same, or are they different?
Oh, they're all the same. They're just these hooded figures with very, very dark, kind of like can't hardly see into their side of their into their depths.
Well, this is an obvious trap.
Oh man, I was muted. Oops. Yes, I agree.
I'll go first, nice and slow. Ready to dodge if need be, or use my deflect missiles with like a key point or whatever.
Okay. So as you pass by them, nothing about them attempts to attack you or anything like that. But as you pass by them, you can see down in the hoods that it's super dark in there. Like you can't make out the faces, even those with you with dark vision. You can't make out any faces on them.
I'm fighting an urge to poke one of the hooded faces to see if why it's so dark.
Why would you fight it?
Yeah.
That's not what this group is about.
You're right. I'm gonna poke one of the faces.
So as you do that, you get a sudden kind of inspirational thought. So the kind of like whenever you talk to the statues and they told you that knowledge is what you'll seek inside, you did feel a little bit of something happen, like a little bit of warm feeling, and now in your mind you're hearing this thought: some secrets are not meant for mortal minds to know. Look away from the darkness in which such knowledge hides. That thought kind of whispers in your mind.
Oh, okay, guys. The voice told me that we should look away from the dark face things, so I'm gonna look away.
Why?
Because something about secrets we're not supposed to know because we're
Mortals.
mortal.
You know,
That
Emmeline's
just
probably
seems
gonna
like a
try to crawl
challenge.
through one.
I don't know. In all the storybooks, people are driven crazy with that kind of stuff, and I don't really feel like being any more crazy.
I don't need to know like all the things, just like
So
a
Emmeline,
couple
you're gonna
would
go
be
ahead
cool.
and look into the face.
Just a little peek, see?
Valdan's
Okay.
encouraging her.
Well, Valdan's probably doing it too.
He's
I'm
behind me,
letting
using me
Emmeline-
like a shield,
yeah.
like looking.
I'm letting
So-
Emmeline take the lead. I'm just encouraging her to do it.
Yeah. So, as Emmeline, as you approach the statue and kind of look into its mind, or into its face, your mind starts to race, and you start seeing all of these images of things that you don't quite understand. Do a wisdom saving throw.
Got a lot of
dum.
that.
She's close
Not
to me,
enough.
so she gets a +3.
Oh.
And Chelan also has a +3 because we're both paladins.
Yeah.
All right. So, so
15
yeah.
then, 16 then.
Okay, so you realize that something has just tried to invade your mind, but past it, you see that you looks like you're looking into the expanse of the unknown, and so many images are bombarding you, things that just like you have no idea. Something called a TV is, other stuff like this is just bombarding your mind, that things that you don't have a grasp of. Do an intelligence saving throw.
It's like, who's the guy, like, the leader of the whole thing where it's like life is a simulation, like we're a computer program?
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, I'm in the game!
Yep.
An intelligence
You see
save?
people sitting around mics talking about rolling dice. All right, yeah, do an intelligence saving throw. Yep. Okay.
18?
So you're able to pull yourself away from that and kind of look away, but you all of the extra things that would destroy your mind fade away, but you feel though that you have gained some knowledge. Like, you can't quite pin down what you know, but you suddenly feel like there is no intelligence, like nothing that could stump you at the moment. Like, you could go on a quiz show or something and just blow it out of the water. So you have actually gained, for the next 24 hours, you have advantage on intelligence checks.
Okay.
But you definitely could see the danger of seeing all of that. It could have destroyed your mind a bit, or caused some temporary issues.
Advantage on
Yeah, while you were doing that, you're just kind of like mindlessly staring at the thing, shaking a little bit, kind of just like, and kind of like grabbing your face and kind of screaming silently, and people are like trying to pull you away until they finally can break
turn around.
you
I'm
free.
like, whoa.
I've had a bad trip.
Yeah.
Honey, remember, it's just mushrooms.
I don't know what that. I'm too smart for my own good now.
I'm happy with being dumb.
Yes.
Yeah, I like being dumb.
That you are lucky to have come away so unscathed. I would suggest that none of us look inside these figures.
Yeah, nobody look, 'cause it makes you a little bit dumber.
After encouraging you, Valdan's like, normally I would, but I'm still feeling a little rough from last night. He's kind of like rubbing the back of his
Yeah,
neck.
what were you drinking anyway? What mushrooms did you eat? What happened?
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
Are
So-
you,
Wiping some of the
are
dry
you
blood
and
off
the
his face.
dog, like...
Trying
What
to
are you
start a
insinuating?
family.
It was a rough night. We'll leave it at that.
Gonna have puppies.
Bit of a rough night.
Rough night, yes.
Exactly.
I just want to know what you were drinking so I can not drink it. Like, did some of our stuff go bad?
All right.
Wasn't anything I vomited.
Oh.
I was thinking some kind of fish wine that you may have created.
Fish
I don't know
wine.
what you guys are talking about. That stuff was delicious.
It was. I have the rest.
Each their own.
All right. So at the end of the hall, there's another wooden door that is partially open as well. It's not been closed all the way. You can definitely also see that there are kind of like some of the bones have been moved out of the way of like a slithering pattern through here. Something has kicked a few bones around, so someone's being dragged through here. But yeah, so this is definitely the way that whoever was being abducted by the Yuan-Ti, this is the way that they went. Do you want to go on through the door, or just kind of peek in there and see what you see? The door is open.
Well, I assume it's dark in here, so Chelan with the fire sword should probably be in front of us.
Busy figuring out basic math equations now, so I don't got time for that.
If we're not doing stealthily and a couple of us don't have dark.
Yeah, there's no light in this place. So yeah, the only light you have is from the door behind you.
And I forgot, my Helm of Brilliance is radiating light in 30 feet as well.
Okay, so then you do have light then.
Then I might as well light the sword if we're not going to be sneaky at all.
Just keep our eyes out for traps. I'm not afraid of anything that I can see.
Well,
okay,
I'm not the person to be looking for traps.
There is definitely in this tomb, though, there's, of course, the scent of dust and decay. But, yeah, that doesn't seem like there's anything evil about this place that is giving a sense of chills or anything.
Alright, fine. If nobody's gonna do it, I'm just gonna pat the door down.
Well, the door is already open a little bit. Are you going to pat the door down of,
Like the edges, to see if there's anything,
Nope.
sticking out or...
Nope.
Okay.
And so as you do so, you kind of look beyond the door as well. And so what you see in the next room over is you see a high vaulted dome room with a deep inset ledge circling the room. So just below the dome, there's like a little ledge up there. And that ledge is like 10 feet high, 10 feet wide, and it's 15 foot off the ground. The floor, though, down below, is set with a beautiful tile mosaic showing a knight in plate armor wielding a glowing sword fighting off a chimera. Across the way, you can just barely make out from the light that's flooding in the room. You can see a door with the word "safe" written over it. And beyond that, there's a huge double door at the end of the hall, and off to the left, it looks like it's got a sloping down passageway.
Is this like the remnants of a pool?
No, it just looks like this was a decorated floor, kind of like an opening entrance hall to this tomb.
Just the way you described the ledges, I kind of visioned like an empty pool. I'm sorry.
No, I mean they're 15 feet up, so I don't think you don't get the sense this is a pool or anything, but it's interesting. It's just an interesting little ledge that's up there.
Let's start to walk in.
Yeah, I'm going in.
I wonder what's behind the door that says safe.
Okay, so let's see. Chelan, you move in first, followed by Aradan.
Maybe it just looks like it says safe, and really it says fast.
Tell me what... I mean, I don't have everybody's thing pulled up. Tell me what your passive perception is.
11.
Mine's 19.
11!
And
Valdan's is 17, but since he's been feeling rough, he's the last in line in the group.
Chelan, did you say yours is a 19?
Yes.
Good God, you got some, something in there going on your perception.
Constant anxiety.
Sentinel shield.
Yeah, so you immediately you stop dead center and you throw your hands back to stop everybody just before you cross into the threshold. you can see that this tile floor, while it looks very, very just plain with the tiles of the knight fighting off a chimera, you notice small but almost imperceptible movements of the chimera. Whatever it is, it's alive.
Don't trust the floor.
Just the chimera is moving. Nothing else is moving.
Yeah.
Don't trust the floor.
Something over there is moving where the chimera is. So be wary.
Like, is it gonna lie to me, or is it dangerous?
I don't know. I'll approach it. Is it like a fluid substance?
Oh.
No, it actually looks like the chimera itself, the tiles that make it up, are moving slightly. Like, you'll see the chimera kind of like its eyes blink, or, just a little bit of movement. It's trying to remain still, but it's some sort of creature, so it's causing small movements every so often that you are perceiving.
Huh. I wonder if it's a mimic.
Now, I try to connect to it telepathically.
Yeah, you can.
You can try anything. It's D&D.
Does a connection form, or?
No, it does not. So whatever it is, it's not living in that sense.
Okay. Well, guys, I can't talk to it with my mind, so I don't know.
So
I could try.
Maybe I will.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my thought.
Just do detect magic as a ritual.
Okay, gonna detect magic.
Yeah.
While you're preparing that ritual, I'll go down the side hall on our right, if anyone wants to join me.
The one that says safe?
No, the one directly to our right, like the little...
Oh, that one. Oh, the awkward one.
Walking right past the chimera.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna get awfully close to the chimera. As you start to make your way across there, kind of like scooting across, you can see that the chimera unflattens itself from against the thing, and it kind of, all the tiles fly up and reconstruct into a chimera that is made out of tiles right there in front of you.
Well,
I will stop casting the ritual.
Chimera.
Hi, Kitty.
So I don't have the one that's made out of tiles, but it looks just like a chimera, but it's all like these shifting tiles from the floor. And its heads immediately let out a roar, and it is on the attack.
Oh, it's the main kitty.
Sorry, guys, I fucked up.
So
our group likes to poke stuff anyway.
I was gonna say, I had that shiny rock in my inventory I was gonna throw at it.
How can we start a bar fight?
Somebody throw
start
a
a bar fight with a chimera. Well, the first part is you try to get it drunk.
I'll wrestle,
But,
yeah.
I mean, we could try to lead it through this entire place and run it into other traps.
All right, so roll me some initiatives for the chimera.
How about us going first? Oh!
No, that tracks for me.
I got a 4.
Hey, I'm not last.
I got a 6.
Oh!
I will automatically
got
get
a
a 7.
Oh.
No. My initiative is +6, but I got a 16.
Ay, +6.
Okay, so Torrel, you kind of see all that happen. You hear the sound of, from the doorway, you hear the sound of the tiles moving together, and you see that chimera let out its shrieking attack from all of its heads at the same time. The lion roar, a goat like letting out its bleating, and then the dragon roaring as well. What are you gonna do? You are a little over, let's see, is this 15 feet or 20 feet? I forget. Let me pull this back up.
Are they like more susceptible to like
Or 10 feet.
magical?
That is a good question. I don't know if you would know that or not. Let's roll a history check to see if you have fought a chimera before.
I mean, I just thought you had loved me enough to tell me.
Well,
But
considering that this isn't a normal
12?
chimera and that it is a bunch of
12.
tiles, 12, you get the idea that this is a construct, and constructs typically have some sort of magic holding them together.
Okay. I am going to whip out. Let me make sure. I mean, okay, so question. My crossbow is a +2, but that means nothing for what I'm actually shooting, right?
So your crossbow's what? Say one more time.
A +2?
So yeah, I mean it still hits with a +2 on damage and everything. So your ammo can also get pluses too, so that actually helps on damage and stuff like that. But the +2
Okay.
on the bow gives you a +2 on the attack and on damage.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it gives me magical damage.
Oh yeah, no, anything that's a plus is considered a magic weapon because they have to be magically enchanted to be better.
So I'm not going to hit it and you're going to say, "Oh, you needed special arrows."
Nope, I'm not going to say that you need special arrows for that. Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, that upset me earlier in the game when I was trying to learn how to play a rogue.
I know.
Because I do have silver.
I kept trying to point out to you that your arrows weren't being effective, and you never seemed to get that. You're like, ah.
Well, no, that's why I'm trying to ask, because I
Okay.
do have +1 arrows.
You can use them if you want to.
Show him your boobies, he'll tell you.
I do that every day, so it's not going to be
I
special.
Doesn't matter to a guy.
was gonna say I don't think it matters.
It's called the internet. So I am going to try to use my arrows, my special arrows. I hope this works out.
Special arrows.
So, dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 is going to hit.
And a 19 to hit.
19 is going to hit.
Okay. Then +8, so that's 19. So 21 total.
Okay, and so this is not because you didn't have magical arrows, but because the arrows are piercing damage and the tiles are moving, it does not do as much damage as you wanted.
Okay.
Well,
Get the big boobies.
Didn't I give her, Valdan gave her those magic elven arrows I found, but were those for...
It's still piercing damage. It's based upon the piercing damage because these tiles are not all connected into a solid piece, kind of flowing. It's not doing, the piercing of the arrow is not doing what it's supposed to. So it's not a full, damage on that.
I was using the elven arrow.
So you did do more damage total, but it's still gonna not do as much damage because it's piercing damage trying to hit these little tiles that are moving around.
Okay.
But you still did 10 damage to it.
10?
Yeah, because you did a total of 19 and it's resistant to piercing.
No,
and I rounded up.
I did 21.
Okay, so then I will give you one more after that, so 11.
Okay. Because I add you said add plus, if it's a +1 arrow.
Yes.
Add that plus to the damage.
Yes,
okay.
Correct. Alright, so anything else from you? Just kind of standing in the doorway shooting at this thing, or you want to go into the room at all, or?
Nope.
Okay. Alright, Zapdos. You're up. You've seen that the arrows kind of didn't hit the chimera, but didn't do enough damage. Kind of got stuck in one of the little crevices and then got knocked out. What do you want to do?
I'm not engaged, am I? Like I can still just walk away.
You are pretty close to it, but you're not engaged. Yes, you could move away from it.
I'd like to fly up onto the ledge that is
Okay.
on the edge of the room.
Okay.
And I'm gonna activate my Helm of Brilliance and sling a fireball at him.
Okay.
Which is, I believe, a Dex 15 save.
It is. So a fireball is a 30-foot radius, so I'm assuming you're going to go at the back of the room to not anybody else?
Correct.
Okay.
You assume.
I'm being in the nice GM instead of just saying you did a fireball in the middle of the room. Your friends must
I
all
was just
know.
accepting the chaos.
Right. All right, so yeah, it got a nat 20 on that dex save.
Ooh. Unfortunate.
Well, it's still gonna take half damage. 1 sec.
Okay.
Valdan, what were you drinking?
I haven't been doing it in this game, but I think in future campaigns I'm probably going to have a nat 20 on a dex save, mean you don't take any.
I mean, I can agree with that, but
Yeah.
we're past that point now.
I know. I'm not changing it for you guys because I've not done that the entire time, but...
And I was wrong. It's actually a Dex 18 save. I mean, he still passes, but...
Yeah.
Oops.
That's okay.
So 29 fire damage, cut in half for 15.
15, yep.
Ooh.
Okay. Alright, just making sure.
As
Would
a
that
bonus
mean-
action, I'm going to pop my Astral Fists.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. As a bonus action, I'll spend a key point to dodge.
Alright, excellent. Chelan, you're up.
Did it seem like fire hurt it?
Oh yeah, it kind of destroyed some of the tiles, definitely. Yeah, it did a lot more damage than that piercing attempted to do.
Then I will run up to it with my flaming sword and use my bonus action to channel divinity, vow of enmity, tell it how much I hate it, and then attack with advantage.
Alright.
Is that just making sure I get advantage on every attack, right? For 1 minute, yeah. Okay, does a 21 hit?
21 does hit, yes.
Okay. Alright, that will be 12 points of magical piercing and 5 fire.
Okay, 12 piercing and 5 fire, okay.
Second attack. And I keep rolling doubles of the same thing. It looks like a 19 if the dice clears away. Yes. Does a 19 hit?
19. Sorry, we go here. 19. Yes, 19 is gonna hit.
And that will be 10 magical piercing and 5 more fire.
Oh, I'm sorry, one more time on that last damage.
10 magical piercing, 5 fire.
Okay, so was the first one piercing as well, the 12?
Yes,
Yeah.
12 magical piercing and 5
So
fire on the first one. Yeah.
So even though it's magical, it's piercing that is the issue, and so it's still doing half damage on piercing.
Okay. So that would be
Yep.
total of 11 piercing then and 10 fire.
Okay. Right. Great. Okay, so Romalia is up next. Comes into the room, kind of goes over to the side here, and she is going to use one of her spells. Throw some magic up here. She's going to use a magic missile at 3rd level. So she's going to do 5. Those. First, +5. And from that force damage, it's going to take a full 13 as it starts smacking into those and bursting apart little tiles that make it up. Okay. Right. And then the Chimera is up. So the Chimera is going to try to jump backwards. No, actually, it's not going to do that. It's just going to turn, and it's going to... You see the dragon head rear back, and the flames spew out from it. It's going to do a 15-foot cone in this direction right here, which is going to catch everybody in the doorway, including Romalia. Right, so Chelan, Valdan, Aradan, and Romalia need to do a Dex saving throw.
And I'm also going to use absorb elements.
Okay. Romalia is going to take some damage.
Well,
And you said +3, Aradan?
yep. Well,
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's within 10 feet of me. It doesn't look like it.
No.
Yeah. And with that in mind, I had a crit success, and I have Shield Master.
Okay, very nice. Seeing if she had protection. Okay, nope. Alright, so she's going to take a full damage. So, all right, so anyone who didn't get 15 or higher on their dex save is going to take 31 damage, and then half as much on a failed save, so that is 15.
So thanks to Aradan, I get a 16, and then with absorb elements, half 15, so I only take 7.
Yeah, I
Who
have
all was
resistance
in
to
that?
fire. So
Torrel, you're not one of them. You're just outside of the reach of
okay.
it. So it was Valdan, Aradan, Romalia who took the full blast, and Chelan. Okay, and then so the dragon did that. The lion is going to try to strike with a bite at Chelan here, and that's a 20, which I don't. Oh, your AC is at 20. Yep.
That's exactly what he needs.
Yep. So that's 11 piercing damage, and then it's going to swipe its claws at you.
Actually, I'm just gonna cast shield.
Okay. So shield gives you an AC, right? Extra AC.
+5, so I'll have a 25 AC.
Okay, great. So the claws also bounce off your magical shield. Okay, great. Then it tries to back up and reposition, so it's going to leave itself open to attack.
Yeah, I'll take that opportunity attack. Let me see if I get advantage on that as well. Yeah, for all attack rolls. So 27.
It's going to hit.
So again, it's piercing, so 12 piercing.
Okay.
And 5 fire.
Alright, so it'll take 11 more damage. Okay. As a few more of those tiles start to break away. Yep. definitely running out of the tiles. The tiles are restricting it and kind of making it harder for it to maintain stability, but it's still moving. It kind of backs away over towards the door here. And Aradan, you're up.
Wouldn't I have gone? I was higher than him in initiative, I thought.
Yeah, I got a 6. So.
Yeah, I hit a 12.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason it did. For some reason it had you down as 0, Valdan. It didn't count whatever you rolled for some reason. Sorry about that. Yep. So you were actually right before the Chimera. So I'll backdate the whatever thing you do. That's being the Chimera up here.
So is there a Chimera and a dragon?
No, the Chimera has one of its head as a dragon.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And you said this thing is made of tiles. So
Yep.
would I know, or maybe I'd have to do an Arcana check, if this is like magically created? Would I have any inkling to that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could. You've kind of figured out that it's got to be some sort of magical creature. So, and it's construct at least. So, might know a little bit about it.
So thinking that, at least Valdan's guessing, he's gonna try to see. Let's see the range on this. It's 120 feet. So, thinking this might be some magically created trap, he is going to use his action to use spell magic on it to see if he can get it to go away.
Okay. Let me double check to see if it can do that.
I don't know if it'll work. It might be a waste of a turn, but I'm going to try it anyway. Because I can choose a creature, object, or magical effect within range. If it's above 4th level or higher, it's got to make an ability check.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go ahead and see if you can dispel the magic on it. But let me see the spell real quick because I want something on. This would be a higher kind of spell. Create this.
Yeah, it says if it's 4th level or higher, it's got to do an ability check. Use my spellcasting ability. Which my spellcasting ability modifier. Let's see. DC
Now, does it say
15.
that the spell equal to or less than the spell of the slot? Okay. Spell 4th level on the target. Okay, yeah, so yeah, you have to roll to see if you get that. Are you using, what level are you using for this spell at?
For this, let's do 3rd level.
Okay. So you'll have to roll that ability modifier to see if it, or ability check to see if it is successful.
Which ability check would it be?
So it equals 10 plus the spells. So yeah, you have to roll your spell casting ability.
Okay,
so you
so
get that
would
modifier
be
a
wisdom.
7. You get a 7 on your spell casting.
Okay, so
spell
it'd be a D20 plus 7.
Hmm?
All right. So I'll just roll a D20. It'll be plus 7, whatever this is. Ooh, I rolled a critical. So it'd be 27.
Great. You see the thing back up and kind of like, you see it kind of like an inner light in it, and then all of a sudden the tiles just explode outwards, smacking the wall and everything within a 20-foot radius of it. So, Chelan, you're kind of like pulling your shield up and kind of blocking some of the backsplash of this thing as it goes flying to pieces.
And with that, Valdan kind of just kneels down for a second. He's like, I'm still feeling like shit, guys, but that was awesome. And he just kind of takes a seat for a minute.
You need a piggyback?
If Aradan would like to give me a piggyback ride, I want to say no.
Well, no, that's mine. But
Yeah, sorry,
I
I only carry my wife.
Zapdos, yeah. Maybe
All right.
enough.
And so with that, this is actually that I did it at a good point because we're actually at a good stopping point for the 3 hours. So we'll stop with you guys exploring the rest of this tomb next time.
Wonderful. This was
Sounds
fun.
like